Hi, and welcome to my presentation of the Mesolimbic pathway. My name is Maisie Bryan, and we're going to be starting off with our topics. Our topics today are the limbic system, the amygdala, and the Mesolimbic pathway, and the Mesolimbic pathway and our development. So, the limbic system, starting off, what is the limbic system? It is a group of brain structures that are responsible for our motivation, our emotion, our stimuli valence based on our environmental stimuli. What is around us and are we enjoying it? Um, the components of the limbic system contains the hippocampus and the amygdala, the thalamus and the hypothalamus, and the nucleus accumbens septi. So that leads us to what is the amygdala and the hippocampus? What emotions does it bring about? The amygdala in the limbic system is based from our emotional memory. And then the hippocampus in the limbic system is usually based on our non emotional or our associative memory that we have. Then that leads us to our goal directed behavior. So, goal directed behavior begins with the amygdala. And then mesolimbic pathway, or as you might like to call it, the reward pathway. The reward pathway is pretty much brought about by the transfer of dopamines from the ventral tegmental area, the VTA, to the nucleus accumbens septi, and then it creates this motivated behavior. So pretty much the mesolimbic pathway is creating this motivated behavior that is then presented with an approach or avoidance behavior, which is usually judged by the amygdala, or emotional memory, if it was positive or negative. Did we enjoy this? Did we not? Did we hate it? Then that leads us to our reward and reinforcement. Our reward is our stimulus, and then our reinforcement is our behavior after that stimulus. Um, Behavior is when it produces a reward is usually reinforced or repeated. And that is created by the mesolimbic pathway. Usually, when the behavior produces something negative, we tend to not do it again as much as we can. But that reward is actually remembered by the amygdala. And then to achieve that reward, once again, the hippocampus is used. So then that leads us to the beginning of the mesolimbic pathway during our prenatal development. So, pretty early, 24 days in, 1 month, the mesolimbic pathway is functional, even though it is sensitive. The brainstem, spinal cord, and forebrain are starting to develop. 6 weeks in, the neurodevelopment to the path of neuromaturation happens as early as 6 weeks. And then about 20 to 28 weeks in, our goal directed behavior is beginning to happen within the womb. We're starting to suck our thumb and all that. During birth, our auditory cortex is usually the most mature. And out of all the sensory cortexes, our visual cortex is not very developed yet until about 6 months in to being born. The prefrontal cortex is not fully developed yet until about 25 years of age, unfortunately. And the mesolimbic pathway, though, like I said earlier, is fully functional and sensitive. So that brings about our egocentric thinking, our impulsiveness, our compulsive behavior, our immediate gratification that we show when we cry as a baby and we want to be held and we want to be taken care of. And that leads us to adolescence, the most fun time. Adolescence is from the ages of 12 to 25 years of age. Around 12 years old, when adolescence begins to begin, we are usually emotionally based. We're risky, we're selfish. And that's because it is based from the mesolimbic pathway. We're still wanting those rewards around that age. And then when we hit to about 25 years old, that is when our prefrontal cortex is finally developed, and we do become a little bit more emotionally regulated. We become independent. We can become a little bit more, I guess, not as selfish as we once were, making better thoughts. Um, and then that is the end of my presentation of the mesolimbic pathway. I would like to say thank you and a little keynote about how we need experiences. Experiences do shape the neuromaturation for neuroplasticity. So we kind of do need to be a little bit risky, and try out new things. And then when we do hit 25, we can be a little bit mature. Okay, well, have a good day. Thank you.